Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. President Joe Biden has delivered a fiery State of the Union address, taking repeated swipes at Donald Trump and covering the broad themes of his re-election campaign. Mr. Biden used the term "my predecessor" to refer to Mr. Trump 13 times in a speech that lasted more than an hour. He accused his likely election opponent of bowing down to Russia and criticized him over the Capitol riot.
Now my predecessor, a former Republican president, tells Putin, quote, "do whatever the hell you want." That's a quote. I think it's outrageous, it's dangerous, and it's unacceptable.
The atmosphere in the House chamber was raucous at times, with loud cheering from Democrats and heckling from some Republicans.
If you, the American people, send me a Congress that supports the right to choose, I promise you, I'll restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land again.
Mr. Biden also covered immigration, abortion, the economy, and Gaza.
No U.S. boots will be on the ground. A temporary pier will enable a massive increase in the amount of humanitarian assistance getting into Gaza every day.
The US military will construct a port in Gaza to get more humanitarian aid into the territory by sea. That's according to Joe Biden. The temporary port will increase the amount of humanitarian assistance to Palestinians by hundreds of additional truckloads per day. Mr. Biden added that no US troops would land in Gaza. The UK said it would work with the US to set up a sea corridor. The UN warns that a quarter of the population is on the brink of famine. Victims' families have expressed their outrage after a report cleared police of wrongdoing over the deadly 2022 mass school shooting in Uvalde, Texas. Independent investigator Jesse Prado said the police officers had acted in good faith, contrary to earlier findings criticizing the slow response. Gunman Salvador Ramos, an ex-student, killed 19 pupils and 2 teachers. The 24th of May 2022 attack was one of the deadliest school shootings in US history. Mr. Prado's presentation triggered a furious response by some of the victims' families.
You said that it was best, that there was no way to go in. It was for their safety. It was not for the safety of children. How dare you? There's no policy change will eliminate their fear and their hesitation to do what is right in the positions they serve. And for that, they should be terminated.
I do believe that this is going to cause more confusion. I believe that it's going to cause more division. I believe it's going to cause more hateful rhetoric. What just happened right there is he re-traumatized everyone that was involved. This press conference just re-traumatized everyone. What I took away from this is Uvalde, the city of Uvalde and the Uvalde Police Department saying, hey, wasn't our responsibility. That was the responsibility of Uvalde Consolidated ISD. Our officers didn't violate policy.
Hong Kong is set to pass its own version of the Beijing-imposed national security law, which has raised fears civil liberties will be further eroded. A full draft of Article 23, which covers treason, sedition and state secrets, was tabled on Friday. The city's leader, John Lee, called for it to be passed at full speed. Beijing and Hong Kong both credit the security law with helping to restore stability in the city after widespread pro-democracy protests in 2019. It is believed that more than 100 people have been arrested under the 2020 Beijing-imposed law, which made it easier to prosecute protesters and reduce the city's autonomy. Media tycoon Rupert Murdoch has become engaged to his girlfriend. The 92-year-old has reportedly been dating retired Russian molecular biologist Elena Jakova for several months. The marriage, which is expected to take place at his Moraga vineyard and estate in California this year, will be Mr. Murdoch's 5th, but his 6th engagement. And a Tokyo-bound Boeing 777 was diverted to Los Angeles after one of its tires blew off moments after takeoff. Video shows one of the tires from the plane's main landing gear falling off seconds after the flight took off from San Francisco Airport on Thursday. It later made a safe emergency landing. No one was injured. Debris landed in an airport staff car park where at least one car appeared to have been damaged. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.